So I haven't done an update video for a while, so I thought I'd better. This is the front section of the food forest in the front yard. This is supposed to be just all pollinators. There's Karl Forster grass, daylilies, calendula, Russian sage coming up, echinacea, hyssop, blanket flowers, spiderwort, lots more calendula. There's daylilies about to bloom, bee balm, poppies that are finished, some daisies, borage that's self-seeded. The bees love it. White echinacea, zinnias. There's also aronia bushes in here. They turn nice and red in the fall. And agastache is back there. And some sunflowers that self-seeded, and some more Karl Forster grass. I seeded bachelor buttons along here this year. They look pretty nice. And I just wanted to show off this espalier apple tree. It has its first apple on it. It's just looking really good. Hey Mooney. Morning. Morning, Mooney. I'll go inside here. Again, lots of self-seeded sunflowers, which are very nice. Moon loves to sit on the bench and watch the birds. The fish are awake in there. They know that I'm coming to feed them. So this crazy tomato, this is all one tomato. It's called Barry's Crazy Cherry, and it's supposed to produce a ton of yellow cherry tomatoes. So there is a lot on there and a lot of flowers. So I'm sure excited about that one. And then this is mostly strawberries, some lettuce that is bolted. The espalier apple is doing well. It's gotten to the top of the trellis. Now I'm just going to kind of prune it to stay on these wires, and when it meets in the middle with the other apple tree, we'll chop it off there as well. So the idea is that it produces more variety but less apples and in less space. There's dill throughout here and calendula, and there's some Swiss chard growing, some lemon balm, another giant tomato. This one's called kind of neat. It's is it atomic grape tomato? Got a lot of lettuce. The birds like to eat it too, so I always forget what this one's called, and then I remember it later, but the bees love it. There's some zucchinis growing in there, oregano, beans are coming. It's kind of a mishmash of everything. There's a turnip right there. I don't know if you can see it. And the grapes. This is a pink seedless grape. I'm just going around the outside right now. This is my brassica bed to keep the cabbage moths at bay. It doesn't keep everything out, as you can see. There's some slug damage, but in general they look a lot healthier than the last batch that I did last year. And then we just have red cabbage and then 40-day green cabbage. And we've been picking those. I gotta get all this lettuce out because I have kale in the house that needs to go in it, but I'm waiting till it cools down a bit. And then, yeah, that's the brassica bed. In here there's more random things. There's a beautiful sunflower. Find it. And then a bunch of lettuce. Another squash is kind of hiding in there. And then some more Swiss chard. So I gotta start picking. There's borage, there's grapes. I didn't realize that I planted so many different varieties of bee balm, but there's like this nice pink one, and then there's like a fuchsia purple, and then there's these ones, and then there's those ones. So that's kind of cool. If you don't know, you can use bee balm for tea. It is in the mint family, so it does spread, but I kind of want it to spread so that we have forage for the bees, and also to take up some room in here so that the weeds don't go too crazy. This is the asparagus bed, and it's done for the year. I planted some beans around here as well. And more borage, all self-seeded. That's a perennial. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it's really pretty pink flowers. Lots of strawberries. This cherry I just transplanted this year because it wasn't doing well. What you doing there, Mooney? Hey, Moon. What you doing? Hi. Here's your good girl. Hi. Moon likes to harvest things too. She loves the strawberries. She harvests them herself. Sometimes raspberries and a lot of sticks. The black cap raspberries are in full production right now. We're getting quite a bit every day. They're kind of wild. I'm gonna have to make a trellis for these at some point because they're just, I cut them because they'll get 8 feet tall, but I wanted the fruit to be accessible. As you can see, there's tons of it. And if you don't get to it, the wasps end up all over it, so. Haskaps, this is kind of their second or third year, I can't remember, so they're still growing pretty slowly, especially with the lack of rain. And then that's a sour cherry as well, and it's doing really good. So Evans cherry, it's the biggest tree we've got so far, and I cut it back in June and it regrew quite a bit, so we're trying to keep everything kind of small and in reach. That's why the trunk is so small. I cut it knee-high so that it would branch out sooner, so that everything would be in reach. So we'll see. It probably will still be a large tree, but if we can reach most of the fruit, that's good. The gooseberries, we've been kind of picking. There's, let's see. These are what they look like. There's different ones. They're kind of sour, but kind of taste like a grape. I'm excited to get more so I can like maybe do something with it. They're sweet now. I guess it's time to pick them. Strawberries are kind of crazy around here. Next year I'll probably have some strawberries to give away, plants. I got some beans out here and a lonely tomato that's not doing it as good as the others. Oh, see, there you go. Mooney's trying to find some strawberries. You having some strawberries, Mooney? Breakfast? Yeah? Excuse me. Back here is supposed to be the shade garden. It's doing okay considering we've had weeks and weeks of 30-degree weather. This side, I have one giant tomato. It's a currant tomato, so it'll have a bunch of little ones on there. Some kind of squash, I can't remember what I planted. Sorrel, Egyptian walking onions, there's lettuce. So elderberry bushes, there's 2 of them. This year we should have lots of black elderberries to process, which will be interesting because I've never done it before. Lots more strawberries. This plum is doing really well. It's a Canadian plum, it's the pollinator for the other one. Another gooseberry hidden in there. And I always have beans everywhere, and then there's another zucchini here, but it's pretty squash, so I don't know how much it'll produce there. Now these tomatoes are in the worst spot because they were where we had a 60-foot tree, so the soil's not great here, and you can tell by how well the tomatoes are doing. I've amended the soil a bit, but it's still kind of not the best, so we'll see. That rhubarb I planted 3 years ago and it looked dead, so this is the first year it actually came like alive. So I have hope that the soil's slowly getting better. There's beans everywhere as well, and that's a plum tree. That's a Volton plum, which is like it's supposed to be a really good producer. And again, we're trying to keep it small, so I cut 1/3 to 2/3 off every season, so it's gonna take a while to be producing, but that's okay. This is carrot. If you've never seen a carrot in its 2nd year, this is how you get seeds from a carrot. Carrots are biannual, which means you need them to stay in the ground for 2 years to get seeds. So I should have tons of carrot seeds this year. I'm gonna save them since seeds are so ridiculous right now. Another gooseberry there. Mooney, hey, don't chew on that. Don't chew on that. And then here we've got more squash or pumpkin. I'm not sure. It looks kind of like a pumpkin. It's oh no, this is 8-ball zucchini, I think. And then I planted some corn as an experiment. Last year's corn did really bad in the back, but I think it just didn't have enough sun. This corn's doing pretty good. Probably didn't plant enough for pollination, so I might have to hand pollinate. But it's almost as tall as me. We'll see. And then this is a pumpkin, and it's going that way and that way, so hopefully we'll get some pumpkins on there, but it's just flowering now, so who knows. And then along here we have a bunch of herbs, so parsley, thyme, winter savory, oregano, lemon balm, all of that stuff. So, and then some just ground covers. Yeah, I like this one, it's kind of cool. And this one has the pink flowers. Those are sedums. That's kind of what's happening in the front yard. I didn't want to make the video too long, but of course my asparagus. It's kind of nice to sit out here in the morning. It's getting to look a little bit more wild, but I'm enjoying it, and so are the birds, so see you later.